Hey, Father dear.
Hey, daughter there.
We are 1 week away
Yeah,
from my big day, being a bride. How you feeling?
I feel the bridage.
You feel the bride? No, how do you feel about your baby girl, your one and only, being now becoming married?
Great. Excellent. Very happy. Blessed to be here, honestly. Bro.
Let's be
Blessed to
here.
see you.
You didn't have any like sentimental emotions coming in, or were you? Are you proud, or do you feel like I'm ready?
Yeah, I feel like you ready.
Feel like I'm
I feel
ready.
like actually both of you are
Okay.
ready. Actually. So that will make me really enjoy it because I do feel like both of you are meant for each other. I feel like the timing is right. I feel you
Mm-hmm.
are definitely more ready than before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I
What
feel that
makes
way.
it look like we're more ready? But as a father, when you look at a couple, especially a younger couple, how do you tell when they're ready?
Now you can't. I don't say tell when they're ready, but it's like you all had enough time to experience. I think that's what I like about you. I think it took a lot of courage, first of all, to kind of walk away from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't do that. You know, they feel the pressure to do it, but and to see you all come back around and to see where you have experienced life, travel, you know, in your career, find out who you are, you know, as a person. That's what I really like. Because see, people don't know that once you really get married, you kind of settle into a standard lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and then let alone have a baby, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, you put your dreams, you put your careers, you put a lot of stuff on the back burner. And sometimes that comes up later in the marriage
Mm-hmm.
because you know you've given up so much when you was young. When you get older, then you go like, oh, you know, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. So I think with both of you, I really felt you had enough time to learn each other, find out find out life on your own too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was able to
So would
find
you
himself.
not recommend? Because I have a lot of like ladies in my life that are looking to get married. So I do want our conversation, although yes, I'm finally in that like wedding bliss and about to be married where, most of women's dreams. But would you recommend for other people to get married early or later in life?
Well, it depends. It's about growing. Like me and your mom, we got married early,
Mm,
but our lifestyles were the same. So we was able to grow together, like grow, challenge. Then I supported her, she supported me. So it wasn't necessarily weren't living out our passions or our dreams. We was kind of supporting each other in it. So I mean, if you get together like that, that's one thing. But if you get together, usually if you get together young, I found like because you with a child got
mm,
pregnant and all of a sudden you know it's the moral right thing to do, then I think those a little bit rough.
mm,
I think yeah, I would say, hey, you need to wait off a little bit and then let some things play out, let some life play out, let your life experience play out
mm,
to know that that's what you want to do, with that person. But the main thing is just growing together. Once you do get married, to me, I found it's more growing, being blessed to grow together than to grow apart.
mm,
And I think if we as couples tell the truth, that's really what it is. Some couples just honestly grow apart,
mm,
and that's just life. And then some grow actually together. So that's what you kind of you pray for. You know?
mm,
That's what I'm praying for you all. That you grow together, that you go through life experiences and you keep motivating each other, you keep, supporting one another, you kind of watch, the changes in each other, and
mm,
hopefully those changes are not so dramatic
Mhm.
that it caused a breakup or a split. And honestly, I feel that's what happened
To a lot of
to a lot
couples
of
that they
couples.
don't know
Yeah,
how to. So when you're going through the growing, so your advice to me is to continue to, grow in my relationship together.
yeah.
But the best way to do that is, like you said, is just through support. Like, how do I know when we get to that point where it's like, okay, it's a rough time, and you were like, okay, y'all need to stick together, y'all need to grow together. Like, what other advice would you give, like, to for me to be able to see the things that I need to do in my relationship,
Well, as long as it
like
does,
listening.
yeah, listening, and then as long as it doesn't turn destructive, you know,
Hmm.
like you gonna age. You all now like 30, now 30. So
Hmm.
let's say 40s. You're gonna go through. If you get kids, that's another thing. That's gonna be another life change. You know, um, I think the most thing like I expressed to you a lot is I would say uh, that you don't really lose your necessary yourself,
Hmm.
and you don't start feeling like um, you've been taken advantage of and not thought about or unappreciated, stuff like that. But it's about a friendship,
Hmm.
number one, you know, because me and your mom, our relationship, we start off as friends. We, became husband and wife, and then stayed that way, but we was friends all the way through. So, then when it came to the end, we still friends. You still care for that person regardless if you are necessarily romantic or not. You know what I'm saying? You just genuinely care for the person, and I think you have to have that in a good relationship. You know,
Hmm.
because you just never know. You know?
What makes a marriage successful? Because of course, we see a lot of divorces now. But what makes a marriage successful, and what makes it fail?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't. Because I take everything as a grace from God. I mean, I really do. Somebody can sit here and say, do this and do that. Okay, it may work for that couple, or it may, and you don't know. It's because it's based upon who you marry. Like I couldn't tell you how to act because you never been married to me, and then you're not the same person your mother is, same woman, Miley.
Mm.
So you got your different, personalities, your different ideals, dreams, wants, So I think really it's the two people. First of all, I would say what would be helpful, like say Kiva, is that first of all a commitment to each other and a commitment to peace, right? Like I told you before, home should be a place you both want to come to, and then home is not furniture, it's not how big the apartment is or the house is. That's not home. That's the house. You know, home is how do we communicate? How do we talk? How do we work through problems? I your best friend? When something get down, can we struggle together? You know what I'm saying? And so that's home. So I've been blessed to have homes. A place where I can go out and work. I don't have to worry about. I never had to worry about your mother in the street. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had to worry about that. I didn't have to worry about if she was spending unnecessary money. I didn't have to worry about none of that. So I could just go out there and work. Miles, same way. I can go to work. I can work, and I enjoy coming home. I don't have to worry. My mind ain't. I mean, it's not even thinking like that. So that's home. And then I know that no matter what I can bring, they both turned it into something. You know, like if I had a regular car, it wasn't like I ain't driving that car. You know what I'm saying? They'll get in there and smoke up and everything else, till we can do better. But at the same time, they knew I wasn't the type that's gonna just do that. I'm gonna be like, hey, just work with me while I can, and then we'll work together and we'll get better and we'll do better. So I think for me, that's what makes a marriage last is you both needing one another, and then you both, hanging in there. You committed. And you're not bringing in extra issues. Like they didn't worry about me cheating. They didn't worry about me out here in the streets. So I'm going
Yeah.
over here. So I'm not bringing in that. You just don't bring that mess there. And I think that's the first step. That's not you don't bring those extra issues. And why should you? So if you don't bring that, okay, we got a good shot. The other part is balancing family. You know, your family, your mother, your father. How much time you spend with family, how much time you spend together. You know, and it's just it takes a lot because that same family you want to sometimes be away from be the same family you may need.
Yeah.
So I would tell people. I think when it gets selfish, if a marriage break apart, I think it becomes where either somebody's being selfish, somebody feeling unappreciated, somebody might have didn't express who they really were, or changing and the other person not adapted, stuff like that. I've been in the ministry for a while and dealing with couples for a while, and like I said, all of them are different, but many times they didn't go into their relationship thinking they were going to break up. I would
Yeah.
tell people that. They don't go in there thinking you're going to break up.
I mean, that's what you not.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think you should
Yeah.
go into it thinking you're gonna break up like prenups. So usually people think about prenups in that way. Like you're thinking of breaking up. How do you feel about prenups?
Well, if I had that kind of money now, I'd do it through pre because you can't gauge the other person. That's the only way I would. I really would. If I'm talking about if I had that kind of money, then I would probably go like, okay, there's certain things I probably would safeguard
hmm
because I don't care who they are. You don't know the full intention of people or their heart, or it can change, and that's another thing. See, a lot of things when it's going good, it's good, but when you start talking about we finna break up or we finna split, it goes left. So yeah, so it's different. It's a different mindset.
So do you look at marriage being business minded? Because usually when people think about prenups and stuff like that, it's like I gotta safeguard my assets and all of this and that. So I gotta think about it like a business
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, it is, and people don't realize that it is, but it's legal because you can say it's a legal.
Or is marriage about love?
No, I would say marriage. You think of it two ways. Well, by you just saying it made me just think about it. You can't think of marriage three ways. You can think about it love, right? You can also think about it moral because we feel like that's what the Lord has. I don't want to live immoral, right? So what we do, we go and we make it legal, right? And that's the part. So you got love, you got the moral part of it, and then you got the legal part of it. So what you all about to do Sunday is legal. That's the legal, and it's the moral part. Like you're gonna be there. You're gonna make your vows before God. You're gonna make your vows before the congregation. Us there, and so that we'll be witnesses. Like, hey, Sherrod said yes to you. You said yes to him. We know y'all said this. So that's really kind of what it is. And then the legal part, you sign a paper, um, so they can be registered in the state of Georgia. So that's legal. That had nothing to do with marriage, though. That's just like you say. But that part is business. That's straight business. That's straight business. Because if he was married to somebody else and or you was married to somebody else and didn't get that right, you couldn't be legally married. You see what I'm saying? So it is a legal part. It is a business part that I think we have to be conscious of. And at your age that you're going into now, like 30, when you 20, 22, you're not thinking about that because both of you ain't got nothing. But if you messed around and you was like Oprah and all them other folks, you don't build a career, you work multi-million-dollar like Candace them going through now.
Candy.
Yeah, Candy, but that was Molly. Somebody call out there. So, but if you like that, yeah, you got to think about it. You got to say, okay, because we can actually stay together
Hmm.
and love each other, you know. And people, the church world they call it shacking, oh, you shacking, you shacking. But I always try to point to people, the Bible never required a license for marriage. It was a license of divorce. Marriage is what I look at the scripture, is a covenant between you, of the person, and God to be in a committed relationship. It has nothing to do with you filing. Nothing like that's state of Georgia. That's legalism. That's the legal part. Because a lot of people go down there and file and they never together. So what marriage is you find that person to commit yourself to devote yourself to, and then turn around and build a family unit with. And that's why God wanted us to be like we are for us with one, because it's more than just marriage. It's more than just you and a person, or you romantic, or you love. It's about what you all be able to create. So when you and Sherrod get together, you're all going to be able to create another family unit that will be there to bless you, and you can bless them. That's the part of he said, man should never be alone. And I always tell people, if you think about it, why would God say man should never be alone and then just give him a woman and that's it, if that was the case? But he said man should never be alone. Then he tells both of them, go and multiply, go and spread. Why? Because now this man, like say me, like with you now, I was able to marry your mother, leave my family, and create another family that now have you. Now you're in here, and guess what? For me, look, I'm not alone. See, I'm not alone. Even when your mother transitioned, I still wasn't alone. I still had you. See, then if you turn around and get married, guess what I have? Now I have a son. See, so now connected to me is not just that, and I married Miles. Guess what? I pull in with Miles. I pull in two more. I put in two more. So like you just said, I got now three sons, which I never had. See what I'm saying? They're not biologically mine, but they are in my circle. So by them being in my circle, if I love right, if I walk right, if I treat them right, if I'm with them right, then guess what that is? Then I have more people around. Then y'all go and have kids. Then let that happen. Now, grandkids. So it's more than just, and that's what people have to understand. I think that's what the blinders are on, because we stop marriage at romance. And it's way more than romance. It's the actual creation of a family and a legacy that God said, hey, you got a chance now to have a legacy, to have a little Jessica running around, and little Sherrod running around. That's the blessing. That's the true blessing of marriage. That's really it. That's the true blessing of marriage. And I feel if more men appreciated that, then more men would stay out of the street. And they appreciate if they look around and then they start seeing they kids, with their kids. And then you have a beautiful wife. Yeah, it might be some other temptations out there, but this is the woman that, the mother of your children. She's beautiful. She's faithful. You know what I'm saying? And look what you have around you. Now, I woke up to that honestly with Poppy. Poppy made me really wake up to that. I remember when he left, and I was really upset. When he first left, we weren't on good terms at all. But I remember him calling. I remember I was over, man. man's them house.
Mhm.
I think it was for Thanksgiving too. And we was over there and he made a phone call. He was crying on the phone. And I remember my dad telling me, he said, I miss my family. I miss my family. And I was like, that right then I was hard. I was like, well, shoot, you the one walked out. What you talking about? What you
Yeah.
call me? Don't call me with that. But it woke me up to that. That I really did feel that he left and left mom, but I really felt he did.
Mhm.
He did miss his family. He did miss being in the house, seeing the kids, stuff. So it made me think about it. I'm like, yeah, okay. I think that's what some men miss out on when they walk out.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's more than just you divorcing. You don't like that woman or something. It's
Well, I
the
don't feel
whole
like it's
thing.
more men filing for divorce. It's the women.
And women gonna miss out too. To me, the long range of it, that's what hurts.
Hmm.
Because you do miss that family vibe that you had because you was that's actually when you think about it as a man though, I think women do too, but that's your like this is my family.
Yeah.
Even though my family is my mom and dad, but no, this is my family. This
When you create
is
it.
right.
Yeah.
This is the unit. So
Mhm.
when that's gone, you're like, what else you have? Except for your family that you came from. That's why he said, for this reason and this reason alone, leave your mother and father,
Mhm.
and then you make your own unit. You know? I think that's what marriage, full marriage is making that unit. Making that unit, making them that unit that you can benefit from later on. So that's what I'm happy to be here.
To benefit from.
Yeah.
So when you go into the nursing home, you ain't gotta go really for real, for real.
Yeah, that's right. I got U.S. Rod. You look at U.S. Rod take me in or somebody. Right? Really? I mean, really? You benefit from that. Yeah. Or you may have look how you treat your grandma, mama. See what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
look how you do it. Look how her children. Look how you all take care of grandma. See, that's a
Yeah,
blessing.
that's my granny.
Yeah, but look at that's a blessing. But she wouldn't have that if we hadn't created
If you
that.
hadn't
God
created.
had created all of that around her.
Mhm.
So, and it would have been the same thing with Poppy if he was still here. I believe, and if he'd have lived that type of life, around and was open, he would have been reaping the same kind of thing. Like, oh, that's my Poppy. I gotta go there and see Poppy. I gotta go see Granddad. You know. So that's why I say long term we miss out. On. But that start with marriage. You know, that start with marriage, making a hub, settling down, not having 4, 5 different baby mamas, and there's no home nowhere.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
That's what we got though.
Yeah.
More out there.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 or 5, but no home.
Mm-hmm.
No home. And like I said again, home is not a house. A home is a home. Like I told you before, I pray for you. No matter where y'all go, you always help to make it a home. No matter. Mansion can be empty and lonely.
Yeah.
And a 1 bedroom can be happy.
Yeah.
Where you had the most fun. Because you made it a home.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than a house. So I always say that till I'm left and gone.
Yeah.
Same way with him. Same way. Y'all make a home for each other. That's it.
I do feel like with how we both were raised, we both do have that sentiments of a home. Because I think about like some of my friends or even some family members who move from place to place to place, they don't really resonate with home. Like
Mhm.
I have a home. Like I grew up in the same household from pre-K pretty much to high school.
Yeah.
So I have that home, and he pretty much has that too. So
Yeah.
I am grateful for that.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't move a lot. Like I remember you used to always say, like, well, Daddy, why we over here? That we ain't buy this house and we ain't buy this. It was one, it was like stability was more important to me than status.
Mhm.
So if I could afford the house that we was in, because actually the house that you was raised in, it was actually above my means when we first got there. Honestly, so it was a step there to get there. And but you was by our school. Um, the school at first when we got up there, they hadn't built they was building, getting ready to build an elementary school. The high school was there, so the elementary school wasn't there yet. So, but the other preschool was right up the street.
Mhm.
So everything was still around securing you, like you say, providing that stability
Mhm.
and providing where we know we could get you there. You know, so we just say, hey, we're gonna anchor down here till you get through. So no matter where happened, it was more, and that was me and your mother. Really, honestly, we both agreed that
Mhm.
the stability was more important to me
Yeah.
than flashing. Oh, we staying over here now, but then 6 months now you can't afford it, and then you got to move the family over here. Or 7 months you got to move the family over there. You got to take the child out of school and put the child in
Yeah.
this school. No, we was blessed with that.
Yeah.
We
And
was
I'm
blessed.
grateful for that because I'm just like thinking about just how it could have been. Like I said, I have a sense of what home is, and it's more than like you said, it's more than just a house. Like I have a sense of a belonging. Whereas like now, I feel like a lot of our people my generation, there's no sense of belonging. So like when you get in these relationships, no one has that feeling of home.
Yeah.
And then it becomes where you get into a relationship where it's very codependent because y'all find home in each other, but then y'all so dependent on each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then, like you say again, I found a lot of surface, a lot of what you bring to the table, what
mhm.
you where we're gonna stay at. I want to stay in this house. I want to stay here. A lot of surface stuff other than again just
Mhm.
no matter where we at, and that's how that's what I love about your mom and my it was all women that was willing to make home or more. You know, you know that they neither one of them I felt was like materialistic. Even though they had their own goals, they did they had their own standards. Hey, I want this, I may want this. I've told you when your mama bought our first car, she got tired of me
Yeah.
buying regular cars. She's like, hey, this don't make no sense. I'm working too. You know what I'm saying? She bought our first brand new car. Mile in the same way. She has that edge that pushed me. And then she'll say, hey, we can do more. We can do a little bit more. But at the same time, I've seen them take cars, I'll be honest, and ride them till the wheel fall off.
Mhm.
And I still laugh at your mama getting in one, but that thing was smoking so bad, boy. She used to laugh, she used to hide her head, but she'll get in there. That's what to me I remember. It's like, okay, I got a partner.
Mhm.
I got a partner. I got a partner that pushes, but then also work with me and understand. Like I work with her and understand, and work with them and understand. So, yeah. But I feel you guys. Honestly, this I told them at work. Everybody always asks me,
Yeah. I just
how you feel about him? I'm like, man,
yeah, we gotta
I'm
give them
crazy
the
about
juice.
him.
So how you feel about your son-in-law?
I do. Like I told you before, honestly, in my heart, there's no doubt that he loves me. And that means you'll never, it's like this. As a father, that's why I see our dad do. He'll never love you like I am because you're my daughter. But he loves you just as much as I do as a husband. And that was a difference. But I know he loves you. And what I mean by that is just like I will, you know, give you my right arm, I feel he'll give you his right on it. You know, yeah. So, and he proved that. So yeah, I tell him that was the main thing.
How did he prove it?
He proved over the years. Been there for you. Period. He proved it. He proved it. Every time he deal with your craziness, he proved it.
I'm not that crazy.
Yeah. She's like a roller coaster. So, I know he do. And he has the patience for you.
He's very patient.
He has the, anytime a young man will call your dad and ask for, like questions or say, hey, how can I do this just because, this here, this, that. I knew then, like, okay, yeah, and I tell him, hey, we not going there. Yeah, she gonna drive us crazy. But I think that makes me feel good because I feel you got two great guys, and to be able to walk you down the aisle and how they say, give you away. Yeah, to him, yeah.
How you feel about that word giveaway?
I don't feel that's no word should be taken away. Cause y'all already don't gave yourself away. We just there and say we bless it.
Okay.
Now that's the truth because the word they say giveaway came from the fact that you'll still be at home with me. And you'll have most women don't understand that the girls never left home unless they were married. So you would always be at home. You'll always be up under dad. You'll always be that. But see, once a female goes out into the world, she establishes her own self. She's doing her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, you actually give yourself away. We're just really there to bless and say, hey, yeah, I bless that. Yeah. But you gave yourself away to a good guy.
Well, yep. So we are less than 7 days away. Next Sunday, I will be officially Mrs. Tillman Brown.
Yeah.
So I got you a gift.
Oh,
I'll show you on camera. That you gotta wear.
Oh, okay.
So one. Show it up.
Oh, some socks.
Yep. You know he's a sock man.
I got to wear them socks. Oh yeah, I'm putting.
Gotta read your socks. Let's say.
Father of the bride, special socks for a special walk. Oh, I'm gonna walk them things.
And then some cufflinks.
Oh, we got cufflinks too. Oh, I want to keep saying this. Same thing. I love you. Forever. Yeah, Dad.
Yeah. You got glasses on.
Yeah, and it's a glare. That's what I'm saying. I always be your little girl.
There we go.
I can see that. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. And this one says
that goes on your thing. Father of the bride.
Father of the bride. Oh, I was wondering where I was gonna get my socks though for real. All right, I got them now. I ain't got to worry about that. Okay, got my socks.
Well, we're gonna keep our father-daughter talks going. Although I'm married, they say not to tell all my business in my marriage. Though they say keep my business.
Yeah.
Keep my business to myself.
Yeah. But some business you can tell.
Nah, but anyways, I just want to keep the communication going. So, as y'all will see, the next time you'll see us will be in my bride, my dress, and you'll see my daddy in his tux. So, I'll see y'all.
See y'all.